You didn't mean to cry. You didn't mean to ask for anything. You didn't mean to need help. But you did. And now, you feel guilty. You replay the conversation. You wonder if they're annoyed. You regret opening up at all. And underneath it all, one thought repeats. I'm a burden. It's not that anyone said those words. It's that your body believes them. You apologize for texting too late. You shrink your emotions so others don't feel uncomfortable. You suppress your needs so you won't be needy. You say, I'm fine even when your chest is screaming. And when people do show up, you feel guilty, unearned, like you're taking too much. So you thank them 10 times. You downplay the support. You make jokes to ease the tension. And then you go quiet again. Because silence feels safer than support. Here is what no one sees. Purple circle, you're not weak. Purple circle, you're not dramatic. Purple circle, you've just been taught that your existence is an inconvenience. That's the invisible wound. You learned. Don't ask for too much. Handle it yourself. Make it easy for others to love you. Don't be a problem. So you became a chameleon. Shape-shifting to please. Shrinking to fit. Swallowing your truth just to stay low maintenance. And now, you feel like a guest in your own life. Constantly tiptoeing, constantly apologizing. Afraid that one real emotion will be too much. Let's tell the truth. You don't feel like a burden because you are one. You feel like a burden because someone made you believe your needs were optional. If you've ever hesitated to reach out, felt guilty for asking for space, cried in private because you didn't want to ruin the mood, or felt like your sadness was too heavy for others, this video is for you. Because feeling like a burden is not your fault, but it is your wound to heal. In the next topic, I'll show you how this belief forms, how it gets wired into your nervous system, and why it shows up even when the people around you love you. Because this isn't about what they say. It's about what you were trained to fear. You weren't born thinking you were too much. You were taught, not always through words, but through tone, silence, reactions, and withdrawal. Because when you're little, you don't just learn language, you learn what's safe to feel. And if the message you got, directly or indirectly, was, quiet down, stop crying, you're too sensitive, you're making things harder, can't you see I'm already stressed? Then your nervous system registered a truth. When I express myself, people pull away. And so you started shrinking. Not to manipulate, but to survive. 1. Emotional needs were treated as inconvenient. If your caregivers couldn't handle your emotions, you learned to handle them alone. This doesn't mean they were evil. It means they were overwhelmed, under-resourced, or emotionally absent. And when they sighed, snapped, ignored, or dismissed you, your brain told a story. My needs are too heavy. I'm the problem. I shouldn't feel this. I'll be loved if I disappear. 2. You became hyper-aware of everyone's mood. To stay safe, you learned to scan every room. How are they feeling? Are they mad at me? Did I make this worse? Should I say something, or stay silent? You became a manager of other people's comfort. And that vigilance? It costs you. It trains your body to feel responsible for everyone's experience. Which means, when you need something, it feels like an intrusion, even when no one else thinks so. 3. You equated worth with being low maintenance. You thought being lovable meant needing nothing, asking for little, taking care of yourself, being easy to deal with, never causing problems. But real love isn't built on silence. It's built on truth. And when you believe your presence must be earned through disappearing, you become emotionally invisible, even to yourself. 4. Your body reacts before your mind can stop it. You try to speak up. You try to say what you need. But suddenly your chest tightens. Your throat closes. Your stomach flips. That's not trauma. That's a trauma-informed body trying to protect you from rejection. Your body is stuck in a loop. Expression equals rejection. Asking equals abandonment. Being seen equals being shamed. So, it shuts you down before you even get to try. 5. Your identity became the helper, never the helped. When you're always the listener, the comforter, the strong one, it feels unsafe to switch roles. Receiving becomes foreign. Being supported feels like weakness. Being vulnerable feels like failure. So, even when people want to be there for you, you feel guilt instead of relief. Because deep down, you don't feel allowed to need anyone. Light bulb, the core of it all. You don't feel like a burden because people treat you that way now. You feel like a burden because your body memorized the time when that was true. And now, you're still living by those rules. But you don't have to anymore. In the next topic, I'll tell you the story of a woman who always apologized for needing anything, until one moment showed her she was never too much. She was just never made to feel safe enough to be fully herself. Her name was Clara. Everyone called her easy to be around. She was polite, grateful, soft-spoken, always smiling, always listening, always saying, "No worries. I'm fine. I totally understand." But deep down, she was drowning in silence. Clara never asked for much. Not because she didn't have needs, but because she didn't feel allowed to have them. She grew up with emotionally overwhelmed parents. There was love, yes, but it was a love with limits. Love with unspoken rules. Don't cry too loud. Don't make this harder than it already is. Be the strong one. So she became the easy daughter, the calm friend, the chill girlfriend. But inside, she was starving for softness. For someone to ask, "What do you need?" One night, she was driving home from a long day. She hadn't eaten. She was exhausted. A small voice whispered, "You could call someone. Ask them to meet you. Let someone be there." But then came the familiar flood. "You're being dramatic. They probably have better things to do. Don't make it about you." So she drove home in silence. Again, that something shifted. That night, she didn't turn on the TV. She didn't scroll. She sat on the floor, held her knees to her chest, and finally let the truth come up. Through tears, she whispered, "I'm so tired of pretending I don't need anything." It wasn't a breakdown. It was a breakthrough. She didn't change overnight. But that moment became a promise. To stop saying it's fine when it wasn't. To stop shrinking when she needed care. To stop apologizing for having emotions. She started small. Texted, "Can we talk?" without overthinking. Cried in front of a friend without turning it into a joke. Let someone pay for coffee without explaining her worth. And each time, her body shook. Not from weakness, but from releasing the belief that she had to disappear to be loved. One day, someone hugged her and said, "You're not a burden. I want to be here." And instead of brushing it off, she whispered back, "I want to believe that." And for the first time, she did. If you see yourself in Clara, if you've been the easy one your whole life, and it's breaking you in quiet ways. Please know, you're not too much. You were just never taught that your full self was safe to show. But that doesn't have to stay true. You can rewrite it one breath, one truth, one tear at a time. In the next topic, I'll share practical ways to unlearn this burden identity, so you can start showing up as someone who knows they're allowed to need, feel, speak, and stay. You don't need to become louder. You don't need to demand attention. You just need to feel safe enough to take up space. Here's how you start unwiring the belief that your presence is too much. Brain 1. Interrupt the apology reflex. Catch yourself when you say, "Sorry for bothering you. Sorry I talked too much. Sorry I cried. Sorry for needing anything." Pause and flip the script. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your time. This matters to me. I'm glad I said that. This is not arrogance. It's rewiring. You're teaching your nervous system, I'm not a burden. I'm a human being. 2. Use mirror work to rebuild self-permission. Look at yourself in the mirror. Place your hand on your heart and say out loud, "I am allowed to exist. I am allowed to need. I am allowed to ask. I am not a problem." Repeat it even when it feels fake. Especially when it feels fake. Because what you repeat, you eventually believe. Speed balloon 3. Practice one honest expression per day. Choose one person. Say one real thing. "I could use some support today. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Can we talk for a few minutes? I'm not okay right now." You don't need to explain. You don't need to soften. Just speak. And if the voice in your head screams, "You're being too much," respond gently, "I'm being honest." That's not the same thing. Woman alert is position 4. Regulate the shame response with breath. When guilt rises after you express a need, stop. Inhale slowly through your nose. Exhale through your mouth with a soft sigh. Say in your mind, "This is what healing feels like. I'm not in danger. I'm just new to being real." Let the body release the old belief. That honesty equals punishment. Red Heart 5. Let yourself be helped without earning it. This is the hardest part. To receive without explaining. To rest without performing. To be supported without apologizing. Try this. When someone helps, say, "Thank you." That means a lot. When you cry, don't clean it up immediately. Let the moment land. When someone offers love, don't push it away. Pause. Breathe. Let it in. You are not a burden. You are simply learning how to feel safe in being seen. It won't feel natural at first. It will feel like rebellion. But healing often does, and with every small act of self-allowing, you chip away at the lie that told you you're only lovable when you disappear. In the next topic, I'll guide you through a gentle visualization to help your nervous system feel safe with being seen, heard, and cared for. Because your existence doesn't need a justification, only your permission. Close your eyes. Take a long, slow breath in. And let it go like you're releasing all the times you said, "I'm fine," when you weren't. Again. Slower. This time, let your shoulders drop. Let your chest soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let this breath carry one truth. I am allowed to be here. Now imagine this. You are sitting in a quiet, warm room. No one is asking anything of you. No one is waiting for you to perform. No one is measuring your worth. It's just you and peace. On a table beside you is a pile of old notes. They're the invisible messages you've carried your whole life. Don't cry too loud. Handle it yourself. Keep it together. Don't be a problem. Make it easy for others. You look at them, and without anger, you start feeding them, one by one, into a small fire. The fire doesn't burn hot. It burns warm, like a release. With each paper that turns to ash, you say, "That's not mine. That's not the truth. That doesn't belong to me anymore." Now bring your hand to your heart. Feel the pulse. Feel the life inside you. Say softly, aloud or in your mind, "My needs are not a burden. My emotions are not too much. I am not a problem to be solved. I deserve care, even when I'm not okay. I don't have to disappear to be loved." Let that truth settle in. Let your body absorb what it was never taught. Now picture someone entering the room. Someone who sees the real you, not the mask, not the role, not the version you perform. They walk toward you. They don't flinch. They don't look uncomfortable. They simply sit beside you and say, "You're not too much. You never were. I want you here, as you are." And this time, you believe them. Not all the way, but enough to stop apologizing for existing. Take one more breath. Place both hands over your heart. Feel the warmth return. And repeat one final truth. I am allowed to stay. I don't need to earn the space. I am not a burden. I am a soul that deserves rest. If this video helped you breathe again, please like it, share it, and subscribe. This channel is your place to stop shrinking, to stop apologizing, to stop holding yourself hostage to old stories. You are not too much. You are enough. And you don't have to disappear to be loved. Welcome back to yourself.